Today, this week, we have a couple big security things that I think the developer community should know about. The first one that we're going to talk about is the Git security vulnerabilities that were released. These are actually some major ones, and there's actually even more if you use the GUI that comes for actually Windows has more. Just to be clear, Windows has more. But these even affect you if you're on Linux, so please pay attention, stay tuned. We're going to talk about the security vulnerabilities. The first one here that we're going to talk about is the CVE 2025 48384, which is a bug when Git strips away trailing carriage returns and line feed characters and writing the configuration value. It doesn't do it correctly all the time when it reads it later on. And then when it initializes a submodule for those paths that contain trailing control characters, the stripped path is used, causing the submodule to be checked out in the wrong place. The big problem here is when you can check out something to the incorrect place, you actually can check out to a symlink. And if the symlink already exists between the strip path and the submodule's hook directory, an attacker can execute arbitrary code through the submodule's post-checkout hook. So this is a way to execute arbitrary code, pretty serious. There is quite a few steps here. Like you need to have a symlink that already exists between those paths. So there's definitely some pre-work here, but there's also not that hard to find out symlinks that are on a lot of different computers and things like that and try to manipulate this and chain this into another attack. So go ahead and update your Git on your machine because there's more. CVE 2025 48385. I'm sorry, just reading those for the fun of it. When cloning a repository, Git can optionally fetch a bundle, allowing the server to offload a portion of the clone to a CDN. The Git client does not properly validate the advertised bundles, allowing the remote side of the platform protocol. Sorry, I didn't English very well. The Git client does not properly validate the advertised bundles. There's a pause here, allowing the remote side to perform protocol injection. When a specially crafted bundle is advertised, the remote end can cause the client to write the bundle to an arbitrary location, which may lead to code execution similar to the previous CVE. So, again, if the cloning hits a CDN and there's a crafted bundle on there, this one I actually find to be a little bit scarier, in my opinion, because it doesn't require as much knowledge about the target system. Although, again, like this one can be mass targeted on a computer because most computers have some standard symlinks. This one feels a little bit scarier to me, but, that's just some vibes. That's vibes on my part. So moving on, we get into the Windows only. Now, this isn't the last Linux one, but we do get into a Windows only one. I didn't really study up on this one, so I figured I wouldn't know. It's going to talk about something Windows. But when cloning an unauthenticated remote, Git uses a credential helper in order to authenticate the... Oh, when cloning from an authenticated remote. My apologies. To authenticate the request, Git includes a handful of credential helpers, including WinCred, which uses the Windows Credential Manager to store its credentials. WinCred is probably WinCred, because there's not two E's, but I'm really bad at reading, and I didn't read this ahead of time because I wasn't really planning on talking about the Windows. Anyways, I'm bad at English. WinCred uses the contents of the static buffer as a unique key to store and retrieve credentials. However, it does not properly bound check the remaining space in the buffer. Hey there, pup. Hey there. Yeah. You're a good boy. Why just when I wanted to start? Let's get back to the vulnerabilities. Thanks for watching that ad for me. I super appreciate you guys sticking around. Let's jump back into the vulnerabilities that we have at hand. If you're on Windows, definitely update. Vulnerabilities in the Git GUI and the Gitk. I don't know what Gitk is. I do know what the Git GUI is. Both of these, I believe, are UIs to Git, and they had some vulnerabilities themselves. So, you can go check these out. I'm gonna go ahead and post these here, but you can check them out. But really, what I wanted to say here at this point, with these GUI ones, update to the latest version of Git. Even the GUI ones were relying on the underlying Git to be vulnerable. It's how they used Git. And so if you actually just update to the latest ones, you're good. But what if you can't update to the latest ones right now? Can you be a little bit safer? And the answer is yes. GitHub actually gave us a couple recommendations. While you're waiting on updating versions, you can do these things right here. Avoid running git clone with the recursive submodules against untrusted repositories. Basically, it's an untrusted repository that's going to script that. Well, I don't know. Don't do it against one of my repositories because I might play around trying to run arbitrary code as well. But if it's not me, don't do it against untrusted repositories because those are the ones that are going to try to craft a symlink with those submodules. Disable auto-fetching bundle URIs by setting the transfer.bundle URI configuration value to false. This is going to stop that first one that we were talking, or the second one that we were talking about with the CDN. This is going to disable that one. Avoid using the WinCred credential helper on Windows, and avoid running Gitk and GitGUI in untrusted repositories. So again, if you're just working with your company's repositories, these shouldn't be a problem here. These two here. If you're just working internally, this one also shouldn't be a problem. And just don't use Windows. The moral of the story is don't use Windows. Come on. So those are the Git vulnerabilities. I hope this was informative. Please, if you can, just go update. As soon as I saw this, I ran update on my machine. So go ahead and do that. Has anybody used Gitk? What is it, Gitk? What is Gitk? The legendary Git client. Oh, it's sponsored. Maybe that's not it. The Git repository browser. Is this just installed? Can I just do... I can. Oh. I have this thing. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. I've never used this. Okay. Maybe I should. Maybe I would be writing better code. Gitk used to be really powerful. I've never used it. I didn't think I had it installed. Okay. The only reason I was like Gitk, the Git repository browser. I should have looked this up before I started the stream. I didn't. And then I was like, well, it's in the Git. It's in the Git thing. So I was like, does it just install with Git? And then I had to see if that was true. And it apparently is true. Well, there you go. There you go. How to phone yourself.